So we're just going to have a quick look at the project requirements section, which is the final part of your requirement report. Okay, so if I just come back here again, developing information system scaffold, there's your title page, done. Understanding the problem, done. Statement of what the project is, done. And then the final one here is a requirement report. Now this report pretty much actually just sums up everything that we're going to be doing in this project. Okay, and the idea is when we get to the end, we can actually come back, cross-check this report as part of the evaluation to work out if we have been successful. So here, this is a generic picture of what one actually looks like. Okay, so this one is done by Oltec Soft, and I've pulled it off the net, but it actually is a clear way of using charts to make sure that we can communicate quickly and simply. So if I was actually to convert this idea, and I'm not saying this is the best practice, this is one idea. If I was to convert this to the actual project that we're doing now, I would see that definitely we've got a project start and a project finished and a nice little down arrow to show what we're actually going to do. In this first column here, these are the different steps that we're doing in the project. And as already outlined to you, we've actually got them here. Understanding the problem, planning, designing, implementing, testing, and presentation. Basically, this next column here that we've actually got, so first column, second column, this second column here, it actually breaks down what we're actually doing in each of these sections. So in understanding the problem, we need to know who the market is, who's our niche market, who's going to be using this project. And the other thing we actually need to do in understanding the problem is definitely knowing what tools and equipment we need to be done. And basically, we've already done this up here. Okay? You might find a third part here is what we wish them to learn. Now, the third column here is, it's just clearly going to state how we're going to assess this. What are we actually looking for when we mark it? Okay, so if I come down here, I've just started to do this example here. All I've done is I've thrown in a chart, made some colours to make it look pretty, gone out and thrown in some arrows here that I thought could actually be useful. Looking at it again, my colour scheme from the orange and the orange isn't too good, so I might change these ones up. Okay, but again, project start, project finish, clear communication of what's actually going on here. We've then got understanding the problem, planning, designing, implementing. They're the different steps that we're actually taking in this project. And now here is our actual starting to break down what it is we want them to do. Like I said, we've got here knowing the market, understanding the problem, and the other thing I just mentioned when I was doing it was knowing what we want people to learn. Okay, remember this is a learning system here. So the whole idea is that we're actually going to have a situation where we need to know what they're actually learning. So planning here, steps that need to be taken and the time allowed. Designing, creative processes, implementing, building, testing and evaluation, actually getting our beta testing going, presentation, verbal presentation of our work as well as people using it. So we need to fill these boxes out. So for the first one here, a clear definition of the user and the technology required for the interactive communication device needed for the project to be successful, right? So we need it for being successful. Furthermore, a clear understanding of what the user is to learn, okay? So now by having a look at this, I can actually get to the end of the project and go, right, have I done these? So this starts to turn into a checklist. Actually, in saying that here, if I wanted to, I could throw in some bullets here so we can actually checklist it as well. But that's going to stuff up my space. But you know what I mean? Have little checkboxes here as well to make sure that we know what we are doing and can mark it off as we go. So, project requirement report for that first part. Not a biggie, but again, what it is, laying out the different steps from start to finish. The arrows are here to actually give us indication on how this actually all works. Might even just stretch that out a little bit more. Right. looking at the presentation so it's easy to use, steps, defining what those steps are, and what we're looking for at the end of the project to know it's a success. Okay, thanks for listening. Give it a go. Throw it into your documentation so we can make sure that you've actually got it right and start collecting your marks. Thanks for listening.